Hello guys, so today we are going to look at how to we are going to look at the way we will be checking the status of the files we are working in our project using the git command, and that command is git status. So here you can see that we are in the folder that we created during the last tutorial. This is my project and currently there are no files in this folder. So we have created our local git repository in the last tutorial. So first we will run the command git status and we will see what does it give to us when there are no files. So we can see here that it says nothing to commit, and I mean it doesn't give any status of any file because there is no file. Instead it gives us a pointer that you can create and copy files, and we can use git add command to add them to the local git repository that we will look a bit later. So it means when there are no files, if we run this command git status, it doesn't give us anything. So what we will do now is that our folder is blank. That is the current state. So what we will do now is that we will create a file and then we will run this command git status and we will see what does this give to us after that, after adding a file. I'm doing nothing, we will not do anything else. So we are going to create a text file because that is very easy to create, and we will write only hello. Now we will save it and yes, ls. So we can see that now in this folder there is one file. We didn't do anything, we just added one file. Now we are going to run the command git status and we will see what does this give to us. Yes, so here you can see that it tells us that there are some untracked files, and it also tells us the name of those untracked files. So it means if you just create new files in the folder that you are tracking through git, so and if you don't do anything else, they are just files, you just created them and didn't tell, actually you didn't tell them about the git, about their existence. So git status will name them like, or categorize them like untracked files. So all those files that you just create and never tell git about them, the way to tell them is using git add command that you can see here. So we just created those files, so they are untracked. We are not tracking them through our version control system, that is git. So our local git repository and hence our online git repository doesn't know about those files because I didn't tell them about my name.txt. I didn't tell my local git repository that I have created a file like this. So this is untracked file right now. So what I will do now is that I will tell my local git repository about the existence of this file. And the way to do is that git add. Now I can either write the name of the file that I want to let the local git repository know about this, or I can use just dot. What dot does is that it includes all the files, all the new changes and all the new files all together. It tells about them together to the local git repository, and if we write the name, then only this file will get included in our tracking file list. Okay, so for here we will just write the name. We could also have used dot. Had there been more than one file, I would have used dot. In fact, I use dot as a rule because I always want all my files to be included in the git. Okay, so this is done. Now we are again going to run git status. Okay, so we can see that now there are no untracked files because the only untracked file I added that to my local git repository like this, git add. But that will be wrong if I say that I have added my name.txt into my local git repository. I have only told my local git repository about this file. That's why it's written here changes to be committed. Okay, so when we use the word commit, what do we actually mean? It doesn't mean that we are committing to the online repository. It means that we are including those changes into the local git repository. Okay, so committing means moving the code, moving the files, moving the changes from your working directory to the local git repository. that is, it means committing. So now what have I done? Git status told me that there is one file that needs to be committed, and so this is the state of this file right now. Previously it was untracked. Right now this file is tracked, but even there, this is a very broad categorization. Tracked, we will say that when we use add command with any file, we say that we have staged that file. Staged means we have put that file in the queue to commit. So next time, whenever we will use some command like commit, all those files which have previously been added using the add command, they will be committed to the local Git repository. So that is the way. So now, before we move to the commit command, that is the part of the next tutorial, we will look more into the add command so that we could understand it better. So we have one file that needs to be committed. Now we are going to add another file, and we are going to save this. Okay, so now there are two files in my project folder. So we are going to run the git status command, and as you can guess is that there will be one untracked file that will be my name2.txt, because I didn't tell about this file to my local Git repository, and then there will be one staged file, my name.txt, because I have added this file to the queue by using git add command. So here we can see that this is the file that needs to be committed, and this is the file that needs to be added to the tracking files list. Okay, so that was it. So now I'm going to add my second file also to the I will move my second file, that is my name2.txt, to the staging area. To be a part of the queue that will be committed when I will be committing my changes. So right now it is untracked. So to make it tracked, I will use git add. Now I can either use the name of the file or I can use dot. So here this time I'm going to use dot. Okay, so now I'm going to use the status command again to see what is the status of all the changes that I have done. So now it shows that the files that needs to be committed, in this list we can see both the files, so there is no untracked files. So when we add a file, when we create a file, that becomes untracked file, but once we use the command git add dot, it becomes a file needs to be committed. It means we have staged that file for the commitment. So next time when we will be committing our changes, all those files that we have added using git add command, they will be committed. Now this is going to be a bit tricky. We are going to take one of these files and going to make a change in that, and we will not tell about this change to our Git repository and see what does Git status tell us about that. Okay, so we have changed the file and we are going to run the command git status. Okay, now it tells us there are two files that needs to be committed. Okay, but then it also tells us that there is one file that has been modified, but it is not a part of commit. If we are going to commit now, so this change, the last change that I didn't tell Git about it, about which I didn't tell the Git, that will not go in my changes when I will be committing my changes. Okay, so it means if I commit the last change that I made, and after which I didn't call git add command, that change will not be part of my commit. Okay, that is the beauty of the versioning. You can be making changes, and then some of the changes you will be able to make them part of the commit, and rest of the changes you can just keep to your working directory. So these changes, the changes after which we didn't call git add command, they are the changes that are not staged. And once I will run this command, I will make all the changes done before running this command. I will take those changes to the staging area, so they will become a part of the commit that I will do after this command. Now we will again run git status. Okay, so now there are no changes that are not staged because we just ran the command git add dot. Okay, so I think that was all related to status and add. So in the next tutorial we will see some more ways to look at this status, and we will also look at the commit part. So that was all for today. Okay, bye.